Hey, Crimson Tide fans, welcome in to our third edition of the Alabama Adapted Athletics Coaches Show on BamaAdapted.com. I'm Alex Boothe, joined alongside my partner, Spencer Tomsett, and today we're lucky enough to have the director of Alabama Adapted Athletics here on the Alabama Adapted Coaches Show, Dr. Brent Hardin. Dr. Hardin, thank you so much for joining us today. I know how many people in this building are excited for Friday night.
Oh, yeah. Well, good to see both you guys, and thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, we're excited. Day after tomorrow, Tide Tipoff, and I think when I came in this morning, I said, okay, it's the calm before the storm, and everybody's getting ready for it, and you can kind of feel the excitement. This is, for basketball, this is kind of the signal that it's all go now. The season's beginning to start.
And you've got that 9-month gap between nationals up to Tide Tipoff and all the anticipation that goes into the off season.
Right.
And you mentioned the calm before the storm when it's actually storming outside right now. So,
yeah.
But just when you think about the gap that's in the off season and everything, what do you look forward to most when you're building up to the kickoff of the Adapted Athletics season?
Yeah, it's lots of things. And, for our athletes, just you mentioned that, I was thinking about it. For our athletes, a lot of them have a shorter break than some of the other athletes on campus because they're on so many national teams. Yep. I'm thinking about the women right now that are on the under-25 team coming back from Thailand, and they have national team training camps all summer long. So they're really busy anyway. What I really look forward to, there's a lot of things, but one of the things is seeing the new players. We have a lot of new freshmen on both teams. Looking forward to seeing them out there on the court in the Bama Crimson and White for the first time. That's always fun. Seeing how the teams look different, because every year the team is really different. We tell the kids that, and sometimes just to change for one player or two players, it just really changes the teams because everybody's role changes. So that's always fun. And, really this event is for the players and it's for the fans, and looking forward to seeing all the fans. We're really excited about getting them all back in here. And so many people we haven't seen since our last event, Women's Nationals last March.
Mm-hmm. And can you just kind of lay out what all we have on the schedule for Friday night for the fans?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Free admission for the Tide Tip-Off every year, and that's really nice. There's going to be some goodies. We have Krispy Kreme, I think, for the first 200 fans that come in. That's going to be fun. We're giving away a lot of T-shirts. Posters are going to be signed, and magnets and stickers and all kinds of things like that. And one of the things that's new this year is that there's going to be kind of a tunnel that all the fans will get to go through, a tunnel of our players really after the event's over, where they'll get to meet the players, take pictures, get autographs, sign up for the booster club, buy season tickets, things like that. We really want it to be an interactive event and a lot of fun.
It's always cool for the fans to have that kind of interactive relationship with the players and the coaches as well.
Yeah.
For you, what is your favorite part of this event every single year?
I probably already said it because I talk too much. I love seeing the fans, and I love seeing, just love seeing the kids out there. And for my team, kind of our team that works here, there's so many people that work behind the scenes, like you guys, but like our events crew with Kelsey and Davis and Kinsey. They work so hard to make this event awesome for our players and for our fans. So I look forward to seeing how excited they are when we pull it off and it goes really well.
And Doc, you were the founding director for Adapted Athletics and one of the pivotal members to not only have this facility built, but also to build up to Tide Tip-Off and the national championships that have continued to come in for all the respective programs here within Adapted Athletics. What does it mean to you to be able to see that tunnel? How special is it for you to see that tunnel in the Tide Tip-Off event from where you started?
Well, first of all, I'm co-founding director. Dr.
Right.
Strand had more to do with this than me, so I'm just unfortunately I'm the one out in front of it a lot because she pushes me out there. But she had as much to do with the very start as I did. And speaking of her, it's fun for both of us. It's really fun to see the student athletes out there. We get a lot of alumni that come back for games and for events like this, and that's always fun to kind of remember when it was their first game and their first time out there. And honestly, just glad to be a part of the ride. Just feel really blessed to be a part of it.
And for you, what is something that you're looking forward to seeing from both our men's and our women's teams this year?
Yeah, it's going to be really, I meet with the coaches every week and we talk about, their challenges and what they're looking forward to and things they're working on and those kind of things. I think for our men, we lost the best collegiate player in the country, no doubt, Ignacio Ortega. I think not many people would argue with that. So that changes a team a lot. We lost a lot of points, a lot of energy, a lot of defense, a lot of technical fouls. No, sorry, Ignacio. We lost a lot. We lost a lot of energy there. And but the thing is, in talking with Ford, I think even with that, this is maybe our deepest team ever. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they gel and how they work together. He has so many different lineups he can run. And one of the things I always say as an old coach is, when you lose a really dominant player, other people are going to step up. You're still going to get those shots. You're still going to get those opportunities on offense and defense. And other people just have to step in and take good shots and make good stops. And kind of excited to see what's going to happen on that end and who those guys are going to be. For our women, I think the biggest challenge for them this year, they have most of their players back. We lost Lindsay Zerbrug, who I would also say was the best women's player in the country, and I don't think many people would argue with me on that either. But they're deep also. We're still going to have a really strong team. I think, in talking with Coach Ryan, I think their big challenge is all the international things that hit us. COVID caused everything to kind of be pushed together, so I don't know why I allowed this to happen or Ryan allowed this to happen, but Ryan's coaching the under-25 women's team that's literally on their way back from Thailand right now. He's also an assistant coach on the USA women's senior team. They have an event coming up soon, so their biggest challenge is going to be him handling that, coaching 3 teams really. Most of it's in the first semester, thankfully, and also the team handling that, all the way around. The girls that are doing all the traveling and all the pressure and being on those national teams, and also the team that's here that's not making all those trips, how they, stay together, stay focused, keep pushing, getting better. So I think both teams are going to be a part of the conversation competitively. I think we have 2 really good teams, and I'm an old basketball coach, so I just, this is like Christmas. I love it.
And Doc, you mentioned like how you mentioned the teams are trying to gel and trying to get that chemistry up front. And one of the unique things about Adapt Athletics is that your office is essentially right below us where we film the coaches shows, and you've got a open window to see on the court and an open door to walk out, talk to the coaches or the players if you want to, and you're right down the hall from some of the coaches. And this is certainly the case with other athletic and adaptive athletic departments around the nation where you have a little more of an intimate environment where you're working directly with the coaches more and you're also watching practices at times. So from what you've seen so far, how do you think the chemistry is this year for not just the basketball teams, but thinking about the para track and field and tennis teams as well?
Yeah, it's just super early. It's hard to tell. Everything looks good from, my vantage point. They're working hard. They're having fun. Coach Anthony in strength and conditioning has got them off to a good start. Alex in sports medicine has everybody healthy. I think the coaches have put together a really good plan. They know what they're doing. We've started the right way, really focusing on athletics and early conditioning and things like that. Right now, everything looks awesome. I feel like from my vantage point, we're right where we need to be.
And this department has already achieved a lot of success. You could tell just with all those banners on the wall. How is this department able to maintain that success over the course of multiple years?
Yeah, and I want to say something about that too, because it comes up a lot, when people talk to me, and it's understandable. There's a lot of championship banners in here, and we've had a lot of success, and that's great, and that's really important. But for us, for the coaches, and we stress this to the athletes, it's really not about that. I know that sounds like, oh, yeah, right. But really it's not, because we learned a long time ago championships don't really make you happy. Championships are awesome, right? We want to win championships because it's something to be proud of for, those athletes for the rest of their lives. It's also an indicator that we're doing things the right way. But more than anything else, we want to do things the right way. We want to have a championship culture. So that's the main goal, is to make sure that we're doing things the right way. We're really looking hard at the other athletic teams on campus, trying to use some of those coaches and administrators as mentors to help us push our vision in the right way, and that's the most important thing. Okay, in that real long answer, I forgot your original question. So, what am I really supposed to be talking about here, Alex?
It was about how hard it is to maintain that long-term success over the course of years.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of cliches out there about how it's easy to get to the top, it's hard to stay there, things like that. It's a sweet problem to have, really, to have a really good organization, to have a university that's behind us like Alabama is, and to put the resources behind us to help us to be successful. It's still difficult, but it's a sweet problem to have. I think one of the things that has really kind of been driven home to me over the years is when you are really successful, like our student athletes have been, it puts a lot of pressure on them. And I think people don't realize that. And you guys will see it. You've probably seen it already, Alex. When we go on the road, everybody wants to beat Alabama. Everybody wants to beat Alabama. And the other teams really, we feel like, give us the best game because it means a lot to beat us. Now, I wouldn't want to change with anybody, wouldn't want to change places. That's where we want to be. But it's good to acknowledge that sometimes, that our players play with a lot of pressure on their shoulders, and so we try to remember that and really take care of them and put them in the best position they can to be the most successful that they can.
And, with Tide Tipoff, we're obviously previewing that with this show, but of course it's a full year affair with Adapted Athletics, especially, last year it ended in the culmination of the men's wheelchair basketball national championships were hosted year, and this year the women's national championships will be hosted year. How important is it for you and the program to host those national championships and show not just on the court with the action, but what Adapted Athletics is able to offer for the collegiate scene?
Yeah, we love hosting here. For us, hosting the women is super important because they split the men and the women out, and we really stepped forward to volunteer to host that because our concern was that sometimes when you split men and women's competitions, the women get the short end of the stick, and so we wanted to go the extra mile to give all of the women, not just our women's team, a really high-quality championship. So that's important, and it's important for our athletes to get to play, in their arena, and so we want to put in for that, and then our fans get a chance to, come and watch a championship tournament, and they really appreciate it. And our fans, can I just say, I don't get to do this show much. I don't know why you guys don't have me on, but I don't get to do this much. But can I just say, our fans, we have the best fans in the country.
Oh, yeah.
We pack this place out, and our athletes are so thankful for that, and that happened at Nationals last year. It was full every time we played, and really all of our big games have been packed here, and everybody in the country knows if they come here it's going to be a great college atmosphere. And so I just want to say thank you to our fans. Thank you. You are the best without question, and thanks for coming out and supporting us, and looking forward to seeing you Friday night.
I can attest to that, as Nationals last year in Brent Hardin Arena was amazing to attend. We had some great games eventually as our women's team went on to win the national championship here. But I think that's all the time we have to have on the show today. Once again, Dr. Hardin, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We appreciate your time. And thank you, Crimson Tide fans, for tuning in on the show. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts at Bama Adapted on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, where you're watching right now. We'd also like to take this time to thank our sponsors, Honey Stinger, Physio Elite, RGK, and more, for sponsoring the Alabama Adapted Athletics. We thank you for all you do. Be sure to tune in to our next Adapted Athletics Coaches Show next week, and roll Tide.